So the threshold doesn't change. There's no gain changes during the show. But on songs where the tempo is slower and I want the toms to bloom out more, let's say when he hits like a floor tom, I've automated them so that they bloom out, and it's basically gone by the time he hits the next kick drum. But on those really fast tunes, it's a much quicker it's a much quicker release because it doesn't need to bloom out as much.
Based on snapshots?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm automating that, and there's a little bit of level change here and there on some of the instruments, but yeah, that's a really nerdy one. That took me a while to get it where I wanted it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I hear it, and I'm sure no one else hears it, but man, I'm really happy about it every time I do it.
Will
So,
you show us that one trick
yeah,
the cool new trick you've learned?
yeah. So using Waves. Waves is the only external thing. I don't have any outboard gear or anything this year. So it's using a plugin called the F6. It's a dynamic EQ. And this fourth band here, instead of running it in stereo mode, this EQ is inserted over my band group. So everything, like I said, everything that's not a voice or an instrument that Riley plays comes into here. I'm putting this one band into a mid-side mode instead of stereo like the default. And I'm having this fourth band attack just the mid part of the field, and I'm instead of sourcing it from the band group itself, I have Riley's vocal group coming in on the side chain, and this one filter is keyed off of that external side chain input, and so the more level he digs in, and the closer we get to or over this threshold, the more that we start to attenuate that band. That's at 1015 hertz, so just over 1K, and it's a fairly wide Q. If I kind of boost it there, you can see that's kind of what the Q looks like. And yeah, and when he's not stinging it, it doesn't cut anything. So, and it just does that on the mid channel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Tristan, do you need to start making stuff happen, sir? Okay, just holler. Yeah.
Yeah, just let us know. We're pivot. Any other plugins you want to share with us?
I've come to really enjoy the SSL. Oh, where'd she go? So yeah, two of them. So the SSL channel strip. This would be the. I'm trying to remember if it's the E or the G. Yeah. So this is just the SSL channel. So this is modeled after the SSL E series channel strip. I've come to just really enjoy it on snares and really anything, because I've just gotten really comfortable with how the EQ acts, and the threshold, the compressor is super musical. Like I've come to really enjoy it. I'm using it on both of my snare drums right now, just to really just for the compressors and to add a little bit of top end, just to make it sound like I'm doing something. And then the other thing that I've come to really enjoy this year is the Abbey Road Saturator. I have this, so I was mentioning groups earlier. Like my primary snare drum, snare top and bottom, they go to a snare group, and that group right at the top of the chain has this saturator, and it's not meant to sound like a compressor necessarily. It's just adding a bunch of harmonic distortion, but it does end up shaving off some transients a little, and doing little things like that, and compressing just a little bit here, a little bit there, shaving off small bits of transients just in multiple stages. It lets me sort of raise the overall like RMS volume of my show, so that I can my perceived loudness is greater. So my measured loudness might stay the same, but because I don't have so many peaks, and I'm in a more compressed sort of meter, I can raise the overall RMS, and it can sound fuller and louder. So if I go to a festival and they say, hey, it has to stay under 98 dB AALEQ10, it can still sound like 100,
Anything in your master bus?
Yes, very little. It's just two compressors. It's Old Faithful. So it's a API 2500, just tickling one or two on the VU meter, and then the LA2A is the very last thing. Just tickling, again, one or two on the master, and that's just to shave the very very most prominent peaks off, and just to let me get it up just a little bit more in that perceived loudness.
Awesome.
And it just sounds good.